Verse 3, here comes the tempter. Now these three temptations are subtle, and I have never read a commentary that explained how subtle they were. I've read 42 commentaries, and two of them run over 20 volumes, and I've never seen a commentary that ever got to the first thing on it. The commentators say the first temptation is do something for yourself, which is true, that's basic, and he was terribly tempted to feed himself because he was so hungry, which may be kind of true. And then in verse 5 they say do something sensational and disobey God, which is a kind of a half-truth. And then they say in verse 8, worship the devil, and that isn't the temptation at all. And the reason why the commentators fail is because they underestimate the devil. The devil isn't that dumb. And the devil, if the devil, he's dealing with the Messiah, the God's Son up here on the mountain, don't you think the devil knows what he's doing? Well, don't you know the devil had memorized every word in the Old Testament before John the Baptist ever showed up? A fellow said to me one time, he says, anybody know the Bible better than you do? I said, oh yeah, probably. And he said, well, name one. I said, well, I can't think of one offhand. I don't know one. He said, well, don't give me any false humility. He said, just, if you know of one, tell me. I said, yeah, I know one for sure. He said, who's that? I said, the devil. The devil. The devil. The devil knows the Bible a lot better than I know it. And don't you know if Christ was sitting up there and the devil had read Psalm 22 and Isaiah chapter 53 and all that stuff, don't you know he knew who he was dealing with? He wouldn't have wasted time saying, you get hungry, feed yourself. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. Now, think of those temptations. Now, that's there too, you see. Don't misunderstand me, but that isn't the root of it. The root of it is that all three of those temptations are things that Christ had to do and was commanded to do according to Scripture. Now, you see, when you start dealing with this thing right here and get this first Advent and second Advent together, you see what you've got? At the second Advent, Christ comes down out of the air, and Malachi says he'll come to his holy temple. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1 to 3. Right in there. No, it isn't Malachi 4, it's Malachi 3. It's Malachi 3, verse 1 to 4. So at the second Advent, he comes down there and lands. At the